Three, two, one, let's go. So this mostly is a movement-based game. Funny hearing that, I know. But there's a few cool tricks
Use the analog stick.
to be done.
Now, press the right button. The shield
Ooh,
depletes when taking damage, but when press select buttons to
I
see a current
forgot
objective
the
on
amount
the
of
screen.
inputs I need
I
to
see you're quite used to
properly skip
Very good. There's a shuttle.
the tutorial messages and maintain momentum. It's a little funny, it saves like a few seconds.
Hostiles detected. Defend
Now we
yourself.
just dispatch our enemies. This game features an incredibly heavy auto-aim to compensate for, well, being a mobile game. So we're gonna be using it to our advantage, sort of, and sometimes we're gonna be avoiding that. How did I find that game? Well, how to say it? I used to play Nova 2 and Nova 3 on my iOS devices, and then
It seems we now know
at
what
some
happened
point
to the crew.
I
Let's
found
continue to
out
investigate
that
this vessel so that we
there
will learn
is
more.
a PlayStation port of the first game, so I decided to play it, and then with a little bit of encouragement from Reporter, which, thank you, man, I decided to actually route and research this game. So right now it's mostly movement and
We
nothing
must
more.
investigate the warehouse deck upstairs.
The thing about the
Careful,
movement in
the
this
bay door
game
is
is
malfunctioning.
that
Get to the nearest exit.
diagonal movement is actually faster. So right now I'm holding my movement stick diagonally and noticeably faster. So we mostly are concerned with changing our directions while still maintaining that momentum. Here, it's one of the few prominent turret sections in this game. I have not found a way to actually skip it, as well as the other few, but it's mostly short and harmless. And we can also get to the door a bit earlier, just to not have to cross the room after we eliminate the last enemy. Anyway, here's our shotgun. It's amazing. It can do this. Okay, let's see if I... Yeah, it should be... Yeah, great. So,
This is General
there's this weird trigger
enough.
which I actually managed to skip, which spawns like 2 additional enemies. And if you enter the room in a particular way and start killing the enemies present fast enough, you skip this trigger.
I see you found a shotgun. It performs well at close range, but
Right, so I forgot how to one-shot
it
this
appears the door to the center.
group of 3 enemies.
I'll guide you to
But
a
yeah,
vulnerable
shotgun is
computer
pretty
network.
overpowered here. And yeah, as you saw, when I was switching through the weapons, this is in fact such a shameless Halo clone that their pistol is effectively Halo C's Magnum. One, And come on. Oh, okay, I caught the long load, but that's not too big a problem. So why didn't we go inside as soon as the door opened and reloaded the checkpoint? Is, well, because we need to kill those two grunts regardless. If we don't kill them now, they will respawn on our way back. So that is why we do what we do. Uh, yeah, pretty much loaded RNG.
Please proceed,
I
Captain.
don't quite know what constitutes the conditions for a long or a short load. Like, if uh, if I got it correctly, that load would be instant. Anyway, figure this one. These enemies and eliminate them. Okay, let's see if I manage to keep a trigger. I've been consistent at it.
Good.
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
you have the
alright, never mind.
self-destruct codes. I'll direct you to the bridge.
At least I dispatched them pretty quickly. And I needed to eliminate them so that this door opens. And by killing the enemy near the door
One of
and
the
going
fuel
through
tanks
it,
must have
we
exploded.
actually avoided a pretty big encounter. So yeah, it's mostly manipulating game circumstances in a way that you can progress without engaging in too much combat. Okay, that was almost scary. Here we also abused. A funny thing about that game is that when you get super close to a source of an environmental hazard, you effectively take zero damage from it. It's funny. Anyway, here we kill those two quickly to delay the spawns of this one and this one. It should be done by the grenade. Great. And that's the second level done. And yeah, I myself took a jab at this game being a pretty shameless Halo clone, naming different locations as the ones from Halo in my splits. So, for example, this mission, I'm happy to help, and the one we're going to do now, uh, they are combined in my splits into Cairo Station. For example, then it's gonna be Sierra 117.
Another fuel tank exploded.
So you should have a pretty good idea
The
of
only
what that's
option.
gonna be.
I've activated your mag boost, but
Indeed.
you'll have to manage your oxygen
I
supply.
mean,
Use the
this
storage chambers
franchise,
along the way
N.O.V.A,
to catch your breath.
is pretty much from the time that Gameloft were copying any other major PC or console franchise at the time, such as, well, this being Halo clone, Modern Combat obviously being the Call of Duty clone
Watch
for
out for the asteroid shower, Commander.
the mobile. There's also Asphalt in there somewhere. And yeah, we again despawn some enemies via load. Right. There's a pretty dangerous skip coming up, but I think it should be fine. Let's see
We'll have
how
to
it
make a
goes.
little detour
It's a little
through the
bit
warehouse
later
A
though.
deck to get closer to the bridge.
Anyway, we dispatch this guy and this guy. Get access to the turret, fall down here, and exit before any other enemies can halt our progress. Alright. We waited a little bit to kill that enemy because we didn't want to kill another one, so we can proceed as quickly as possible. And yeah, after section, there's gonna be some funny stuff. Of course, I've set myself a pretty lenient estimate, but jumping up lifts is a pretty dangerous endeavor. I'm pretty low on shotgun. Anyway, so in this section, we were supposed to align the crates to, ah, anyway. So we were supposed to align like 4 crates and dispatch some enemies, but we can completely ignore them because our diagonal movement speed allows us to do so. So we just proceed and reload the checkpoint to despawn the enemies.
The ship engines
Anyway,
are in
this is a
turbocharge
pretty
mode.
dangerous part.
We
Sort
must close all auxiliary drives, or we'll reach Ceres
if we
before
move
can initiate
well,
self-destruct.
our health is just enough to endure this walk in a vacuum.
Captain, I was able
Yeah,
to hack
we're
and
more
close
than
the
fine.
AI.
Yeah. So we skip getting to any other air pocket this section. Yeah,
The
come
auxiliary
up to
drives
our
are here.
objective.
Close them from the console, and I'll download a virus that will make them useless. You'll need to remake my bioscanners.
And again, just optimizing the fights as much as we can.
The next wave is 30 seconds to contact. Gather any needed ammo now.
We better heed her advice. And we wait. And while we wait, we position ourselves to properly dispatch any enemies.
Good job. The next
Right.
wave is 15 seconds to contact.
I really hope I managed to one-shot him, because even up close, with those club-wielding guys, okay, taking it extra safe. Okay. Okay.
Excellent. The coast
Okay.
is clear.
And we're done
Resume your
with
way
this
to the
shooting
bridge.
section. So we can proceed to the end of the level. Another walk through a vacuum. Our shield is it's just enough
Asteroids incoming.
to cross the whole thing. Especially with this section. This section is even easier than the previous one since we instantly enter load zone instead of actually proceeding further. Oh, by the way, those load zones, they are like exclusive to PSP version because mobile hardware somehow was able to create proper seamless transitions. Don't ask me how. Case. Just in case we
This
pick
is
this
it.
up.
The self-destruct.
And we're done with the level and our version of Care Station. And now we're on to Sierra 117. Which is basically walking through the level as quickly as possible, ignoring most of the enemies. Right? Especially this guy, because the club wielding guys, they are a little bit annoying with the fact that they can actually grab you, you'll be forcefully switched to your pistol, and you'd have to mash your shoot button to escape their clutches. Yeah, I suspect that without the sport, without it being a PSP game, I'd say I wouldn't be able to run it or play it in general. By the way, AI in this section is so funny that the grunts can kill their own allies with the grenades. Basically, this game predicted Crisis 3. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think I picked up grenades. Right? Of time.
Thanks, kid.
And we're good.
Let me.
Now I have the grenades for some later. And yeah, out of the cutscene, we immediately get into another load zone. The game clearly expects you to engage with the combat and have the sections between loading be quite a bit more prolonged. But here we are speedrunning, ignoring most of that stuff. Now we ignore those two enemies, basically to not activate the spawn trigger for those guys too early. so we get a free pass through this area. Again. Oh, really? 2 shots. 2 shots. I swear if the second one just didn't register. Game. Game, you're amazing. Did you know that? Anyway. And of course, we keep utilizing our diagonal movement throughout. And yeah, at least I got to showcase what those grabber enemies do. Okay, so before the end of the level, we pick up the sniper rifle. Good thing about the sniper rifle is that it doesn't have a reticle outside of its scoped mode. So in the walk-in sections, it will not lock onto enemies as egregiously as the other weapons do. So that's a good thing. By the way, the damage works extremely weirdly in this game. I mean, the damage you receive from enemies. Because as you can see, in a lot of the sections, you can ignore most of it. It sort of has to do something with you first not looking at them and then them not concentrating their fire on you. So if you like get swarmed by them though, yeah, you're done for. Otherwise, it's more or less fine. And sometimes they don't even chip at your health at all. Hey, mister. That was some funny behavior. Mostly, but not always, mostly the enemies in this game are predictable. Oh, and by the way, the diagonal movement not only allows us to move faster, but it also enables a little bit higher jumps. Certain areas. For example, I was able to climb those stairs back then at the start of the level quite a bit faster than if I was facing them directly. Again, ignoring. Dodging the little guys. And yeah, entering another load zone. There's probably like 6 minutes of loads in here, I believe. Like I had an acquaintance of mine retime this thing, and there was roughly 6 minutes of them. Okay, so that was pretty clean, even though I played very, very dangerously. Anyway, look, another turret. Away. And in this turret sections, certain enemy spawns are incredibly slow for some reason. Like, what is this wait time? Okay, one more spawn left to go, and we'll be done with Sierra 117. And we're onto the crow's nest, if you know what I mean. Okay,
You're expected, so get going and try to keep yourself alive.
yeah, surely.
If you need to talk to the echelon...
Let's try not to fall utmost pit.
Hey, it's Captain I Ain't No Stink.
Okay, come on. Come on. Alright, good. This way, we ignore a couple spawns. Please? Thank you. This way, we ignore a few enemies. Although it was not quite as quick as I was. Anyway. Did you know that shotgun is OP?
This is a powerful long-range weapon. However, please watch out for the rocket's
Hey,
blast
so,
radius, Captain.
you know, we're supposed to disable the portal or something.
Hey, we still got the...
But yeah. The gap between the respawning of the enemies is just big enough for us to slip past them. Oops. Shotgun didn't quite work. Oh well. Of course, not enough pellets for the third one, since they are not entirely grouped up together. But it's alright. So, another parkour section. Honestly, I'm not even sure what the intended way is here, since the whole part looks so jank. Oh, by the way, do you like turret section? Oh god. Unfortunately, I have not found a proper way to get to the door early or skip the spawn trigger for these guys, even though I tried. But there's the invisible walls all over the place in this section, and even though you get rocket launcher by this point, neither rocket launcher nor the grenades, none of that gives you vertical knockback. which is honestly mildly depressing for a game like this. Alright, we're done with this. I think Nova compares pretty alright to them. I only know a few others. I know that one, Ghost in the Shell, first-person shooter. It's very weird from what I've seen. And there's also Brothers in Arms D-Day, which I played. It's an alright game, but well, alright game for PSP, but it also has a pretty limited foundation. Granted, it's like a PSP version of the first two Brothers in Arms games combined, with certain missions cut out of the game. So I'd say Nova is pretty alright,
Power's back.
but nothing more than that. At least it is... oh god. But at least it is mildly entertaining to run. You know, the kind of fun while it lasted thing. Right, that section was a little bit scary because the grunts can just grenade you from above, and you can do pretty much nothing about it. Anyway, we grab more rocket launcher ammo.
Captain Lord.
To this general there. And yeah, this is obviously... why are you running?
Captain, it seems the missile is armed
Anyway.
and ready to launch. We don't have much time.
This chapter is our first proper boss fight. Well, so to speak. We can ignore all those guys, please. I said I can ignore you. Please. Oblige. Anyway, they will all despawn once I'm finished with the puzzle.
Well done.
And we're on to our first boss fight. First of the two. Okay, so which two? Sniper. So what we do? We grenade it, so it staggers. We freeze it with our ability, which is on D-pad down, and the stun is enough for us to just land 2 shots on the screwed spot. Oh, by the way, do you like turrets? We have a whole turret section of a mission. Yeah. And it doesn't know when to stop either, since this mission right here, it's like 10 minutes long, and most of it is on Rails turret section. It's probably the part of the run that puts me off the most, because otherwise it's perfectly serviceable, I'd say. Because here, well, you can't even turn off your brain entirely, since the enemies will actually kill you if you don't pay attention. Yeah, it's a pretty mediocre game, but it's fun enough to run. Except for, well, this mission. And yeah, this mission in the splits, I used to call it N.O.V.A Highway. But at some point, when I softlocked myself at the end of it, I renamed it to Zabor, which is basically fence in Russian, since I actually got entirely stuck on it. Uh, Honestly, I cannot remember a single third auto-scroller Halo. Like, in all honesty, there's only a single thing that comes to mind that would qualify as a third auto-scroller. Oh, okay. There is there is a third section in Reach, right? Fine. The one where you ride the falcon in tip of the spear. Never mind. But otherwise, I cannot recall any, really. And even that section in Tots was mercifully short. There's also that part in Halo 4 Infinity, but there it's more of just a combat arena while you're waiting for Cortana to hack the thing. And well, I'm not familiar enough with H5 or Infinite, at least in a casual sense, so cannot properly elaborate on those.
Brace yourself.
Oh, by the way, this Warthog, yeah, I'll call it Warthog for the sake of simplicity. Uh, at the start of the game in the tutorial mission, this Warthog doesn't have it doesn't have its wheels turn, so it doesn't have a proper animation, and I think it doesn't have proper hitbox either. It is jank. Anyway, here's the section where we're let off the turret. For a brief combat encounter.
The engine is losing power. Keep them off while I reroute the main power coupling.
Nothing really other than memorizing the enemy spawns. Yeah, I really needed that. Alright. Another funny thing about this game is that the Switch weapons is bound solely to D-pad right, which you probably understand what it means. That if you want to select a weapon that was previous to the one you were holding at the moment, you have to cycle through your entire arsenal. Yeah. Left, I think, is the reload. D-pad left. Uh, D-pad down is the stun move, and D-pad up is grenade. So yeah, this weapon system is basically a concession they have to make to actually fit this game to PSP control scheme. I don't exactly remember, or rather, don't even know how it is on the mobile. Since if I recall correctly, you can actually switch between your weapons Halo style in the later titles. Like Nova 2 and Nova 3. Which is also funny because Nova 3 went more of a Rises clone. Yeah, it is what it is, fortunately. Anyway, we're almost done with this mission. Which is great because there's some fun stuff coming up after it. And yeah, speaking of Halo, if I won't be too busy, anyway, firstly, of course, good luck to all the Halo runners whose runs are coming up later on in the marathon. As of now, I can only clearly remember that Hark's gonna run Halo 4. But I think there's also people running CE and Halo 2, I believe. I'll need to double check the schedule though to remember. So, best of luck to all of you people from the person who runs this funny Halo clone. And hopefully I'll be coming after you guys after, not after, but rather in the summer, if I won't be preoccupied with some other
The
stuff.
only way out is on the helipad.
I'm actually planning to learn some Halo games proper by that point. Anyway, here's here's this haunted salt block fence. So we avoid it at all costs. Don't get too close. And we're done. And next we're coming up to sniper section. Sniper mission, so to speak. I think I have it called I think I have it called my splits as the assault on the control room.
You seem to specialize in rough landings, Captain.
Okay,
Let's go see what happened here.
amazing thing about sniper rifle is that you can snipe your enemies
Captain,
from
these are human
the
marines. They
range
appear to be controlled
where
by
they
pedophile
won't be able
parasites
to
on
you.
the chests. They need reinforcements for the invasion. Consider them hostiles and kill them on sight.
Yeah, likely.
We
Oh, by
must
the
find
way,
out why they've
I
taken
forgot to
mining
mention,
facility.
we have like our female AI companion called Elena. Yeah, her name certainly not Cortana. Hey, fine guys. So on. Good. Aiming with the sniper rifle, it's pretty jank. And 4. And we should be good. Now we go to this area, activate the dialogue. Oh yeah, activate the dialogue.
The ore carts are passing
Yeah.
through those portals. It
And
seems
now
the
we can
aliens
proceed.
are using our own minerals to support
The
their
gate will be
invasion.
open
If
even
we let the site
though
on their hands,
the enemies are
we'll lose
present in
even
the area.
slim chances we have to survive. Get to the central mining station. The storm is jamming my GPS, Captain. Use the red beacons on the road to find your way.
Anyway, we ignore all those guys. I don't want to be friends with you. I mean, honestly, I'd regard that fact as funny, since after all, this here wasn't a one-off game. It actually evolved into a proper franchise of mobile titles. So I guess there was some success they garnered over time. Oh yeah, and thank God they are all skippable. But it has more than a few loading screens. Anyway, there's a full-on proper sniping section coming up. Okay, we get checkpoint, go a little bit further, and reload the checkpoint. Yep,
You found
yep,
the computer
yep.
console that Excellent, Captain.
This
Now
checkpoint
remember, I was right.
has a
I have multiple
hilariously
signals flowing
misplaced
in. Use the tower
respawn
and your
zone.
sniper rifle to repel the attack. There's enough ammo for you in the
Uh,
crates.
oh god. Literal skill issue. I think that's the last one left. Right, have a good one, Karudo. Thank you for the good luck.
They already restarted the production from the back.
And have
They
a good
move
one.
fast.
Yeah. And now let's get some use out of our rocket launcher, shall we?
Captain, do you know why you were chosen to destroy that ship? You
By
have
the way, the plot for this game is pretty hilarious.
There's no official record of your being reinstated into the Marines. You're a perfect scapegoat if things go badly.
Firstly,
Easy
a
and good.
ship crashes into an asteroid,
Hey, over
and
here! We're not
that
infected!
asteroid
Please, just open
happens
the door!
to house an alien race and an AI that considers the human race a threat after this accident, and orders a full-on attack to genocide mankind. Yeah. And then your Earth government just sends you to blow up one of the
This is
ships
the
and
backup
take care of
computer.
stuff,
Insert the virus.
which leads to you
Captain, Prometheus
being
lost.
ordered to be
You
eliminated or
rescued some humans.
something,
It's humanity's
so you
only
can be
path to
used as a
survival.
scapegoat for the
They keep
incident.
telling you this. You must go now,
It's
Captain.
completely
You're in
bonkers.
great danger. Prometheus will explain.
Anyway, here by killing enemies while they're out of the aggro range, we again skipped fighting all the other spawns because the door to the end of the level just remained open. Right, welcome to High Charity. I mean, look at this. It's literally High Charity. Alright, you can not quite aim sweet spot.
I believe this weapon generates plasma projectiles, Captain. The more you press the trigger, the bigger the projectile. But the longer the plasma will then take to regenerate before your next shot.
Yeah, that's the correct way of doing this parkour section. So we skipped a bunch of enemies right here by just dropping down like that. A bunch of enemy spawn triggers. And yeah, we get our plasma thing, very OP weapon, and we'll be using it till the end of the run. Mostly. Oh, by the way, you like the funny puzzles with the consoles? Well, here's the alien version of that. Very entertaining, am I
I
right?
can't decipher much, but
At least they don't last that much. In... Oh, really? Okay. How am I missing him? Okay, this is frustrating. Oh. Glitched out. I should have one-shot him. Dang. This game is ridiculous sometimes. And I think it's like only enemy of this kind that actively teleports to troll you. Ah, beauty.
watch for these crystals.
Oh, really? I didn't have enough charge to one-shot him. Oh well. Okay, so... Good thing about this weapon is that it has big AoE and it can dispatch multiple enemies at once if they're close enough together. And yeah, I tried jumping over, I tried climbing this level geometry, but unfortunately nothing to be found. These walls right here, it's like invisible stuff, and you just fall down. You don't have enough speed to clear the gap, and yeah, just nah. And yeah, again, uh, someone's a little bit of a backup. So if you pass close enough to the source of an environmental hazard, you do not receive any damage from it. Alright. Okay, as you can see, I was able to one-shot 3 enemies. That speaks to the power of that alien weapon. That's how the first fight with that guy, that's how it should have gone. I think here. Yeah. There were supposed to be some enemies, like 2 more, but we skipped their spawn trigger. Just a little thing I wanted to showcase. And we're done with the first of the high charity level. Sniper one-shots most of them. These big guys, these demons that shoot projectiles, they will be 2-shot headshot in the next level for some reason. They gonna get a buff in this one. They're just like that. A little bit. Oh, didn't come down. By the way, this level has two funny skips. Get me, sir. And the first one coming up right now. Well, of course, after this load screen. Right. First things first. Oh, hey. Did I reload the checkpoint too early? If I did, well. Can? Oh, no, it's okay. So, we despawned the first batch of enemies. And now? Okay, we're done with the skip pretty much. So, the other enemy spawns in this section of the game, in this fight, they are only tied to those little guys. Well, we killed them right at the door, so it opened to us. Okay, shotgun, and another funny skip. Okay. Fun thing, I literally found it like yesterday. Come on. Oh, let me in. You know you want. Why are you being so much of a killjoy game? Okay, let's restart checkpoint. I really want to showcase it. Oh. Yeah, can you please look at my ship card? Okay. Please. Come. This skip is jank. Alright. Fortunate. It's called looking. Basically, you climb those spikes from the inside and clip into the elevator without engaging with the firefight. Oh well. It is what it is. After all, the skip is not quite refined. So you see two shots on this big guy. Fortunate. But oh well. What you gonna do? I think it shouldn't be detrimental to my final time anyway. Yeah, we're again interacting with some alien consoles. And
There's another
engage a little bit of combat. There's 3 of them. And after that it's final combat encounter of the chapter. Whatever you want to call it.
There's another term.
Yeah, there's another terminal, of course. I actually tried to skip that section, but oh boy. That's an adventure I'd rather not take. And we're on to our final encounter of this. Really? Okay. So here we. Oh, right. We first need to open up the thing. This thing. All right.
The archway was.
At least I showcased one of the skips. Again, showing off the AoE of this beautiful gun. Yeah, 3 in 1. And we can be off to another level.
The key to
Just 2 more levels left. And there's, I think, a couple cool skips left in this one. There's this parkour skip where we utilize our extended jump. Oh, really? Yeah, we actually need to jump over those. Instead of walking right through them. What? Now that was new and unexpected. In all honesty. Okay, so here's this parkour skip. What we do is we ignore going around the room. Those are diagonal movement to drop on this platform. Then drop down here. And drop down here. Now for safety purposes I'll use shotgun instead of the plasma gun, just to not risk killing myself in the process. And here it's a trap, so we just activate the console and dispatch the enemy. Nothing more than that. If we were to walk into a trap, well, we'd have to engage in a larger combat encounter. Other pair of flying enemies. Oh, okay, so this section is jank. Very, very jank. Because you need to basically collect all the enemies with you. Since the enemies here, they have a peculiar, let's say, range of their AI activation. So you can go through the entire section with some left unaggroed, and you would have to go all the way back to the other end of the room to actually collect them, because otherwise you cannot proceed. I desperately wish for this section to be skippable, but as of now, there is no known way to do so. I wish I could kind of skip the trigger for the enemy spawn, since the exit is just right here. You can even kill the first enemy without aggro. Yo, I don't know, a few more, I think. Just a couple more. Or no? Yeah. And we're almost to the end of the level. Oh yeah, this section. I actually died in a very dumb way. My PB section. Oh yeah. I just kept walking through the cutscene, kept holding my left trigger, and just walked into the lava. That was disheartening, to say the least. But yeah, we jump over that smaller pit, and that way we also avoid a couple more enemy spawns. And we're on to the final level of the game, which is pretty much just a boss fight. Okay, up. Rocket launcher. Okay. Right, we need to be really wary of its laser, because it kills you with ease. Okay. And now we can concentrate on the boss. And time. Most most of this boss fight is just being wary of its attacks and
We shall give our
not falling off the arena. And here we go with the near orbit Vanguard Alliance run,
Infections make accidents
the funny Halo clone.
but your cowardly leaders shall
I
surrender
hope
unto
it was at
oblivion.
least moderately
They
entertaining
have pursued greed and power
for
at
the experience it was.
fellows. Cowards. They
Thanks
hide
again
their
for having
disregard
me,
for their
and
species
yeah,
behind their power.
I think
The
I
one
am
born
ready
shall be restored
to
to
pass on
She
to
sacrificed
the next
herself that you
runner. See ya.